today's senior living. Your host, Doug Foster. And today I am on my first podcast. This is my podcast. You can catch me here every Tuesday from 5 until 7. But you can also catch me on WOL 1450 AM or 92.7 FM on your FM dial. But let me tell you one thing. It is a joy and a pleasure to be here. God has been very good to us, and it's important that we understand how good He has been to us because without Him, we are nothing. But I'm going to go into that a little later on. But before we get started, I want to talk a little bit with my seniors. You have been the lifeline of our coexistence. You have given more than you have received. You have stood the test of time. You have been the diamond in the rough. You have been places where a lot of others have not gone. So my seniors are very important to me. That's why I do this show. I do this show not for me, but I do this show for you, for all those out there who can't speak for themselves and who won't speak for themselves. That's what this show is all about. I can't think about anything else better to do than to represent all of those seniors who I know has a story. And you have a mic here because we want to hear from you. So before we get started, I want to introduce my co-host, George. Are you there, George?
Hey, I'm here, Mr. Doug.
Well, let me tell you one thing. I'm thankful to have you, George. God has been good to me to have you around to do this podcast. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to grow, and grow.
Yes, it is.
But I want to sort of kind of give a little recap, George, from last week
Sounds
from my show on WOL. You can still pick me up here on the 23rd of May on WOL. That's Saturday. I'm on every Saturday from 2 until 4. And I have some very interesting guests that I have on my show. I even have some celebrities on my show. Would you believe that, George?
I believe it.
Yeah, I've had some celebrities on my show.
Yeah.
I had Sharon Pratt Kelly on my show. Would y'all believe that?
Wow.
Yes, indeed.
My goodness.
Former mayor of the District of Columbia.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
She is fired up. But I'm going to give you a little recap over my show last Saturday, okay, on WOL. And we had Sharon Coleman, who is the founder and president of Royalty Business Group. And Sharon gives you a whole lot of data and information on federal benefits and retirement. So when y'all tune in and you hear Sharon as my co-host, well, Sharon's got a lot to say about, about all of those things that affect government workers. But you know, the DMZ is all about government. We don't make no cars. We don't make no clothes. We don't do any manufacturing. We are a government agency. We handle government. We do government here. Everybody that lives here has been in the government. So we don't know anything about nothing else but government. But Sharon brings out all the most interesting things about government retirement, government benefits, government hospitalization, all the things that you need to do about what you need to do about your retirement when you decide or when they put you out of government. There are many government employees out there right now. We know who they are. They're out there and haven't even I got a daughter who just left government, who just retired from government. She hasn't gotten her check yet, and she's been out of work for almost 6 weeks or more, but she hasn't gotten a check. So Sharon Coleman, Royalty Business Group, talks about those things. Let me move a little on and talk about Courtney Wilkes. Courtney Wilkes is a staff attorney, and Courtney Wilkes talked about senior scamming. Y'all familiar with senior scamming? Well, there's a lot going on out there. And senior scamming is not all about AI, when you hear a telephone call come through and it's unfamiliar to you, and you don't know who it is, and they sound like a child or sounds like somebody that you think is on the phone, be careful because that is senior scamming. They have a lot of different scamming uh, things out there in the atmosphere. They just got a lot. So for my seniors out there, be careful. Watch out when you get a telephone call or get an email that you're not familiar with, or you see something online. Don't be tapping in. Leave it alone. Walk away from it because if you don't know anything about it, you don't want to know anything about it. So I'm going to tell my seniors there are a lot of senior scammers out there. Well, we have also had Ryan Ryan Ray. Ryan Ray is an expert on Medicare and Medicaid. And Ryan can give you the ins and outs on Medicare and Medicaid and what your benefits are for Medicare and Medicaid. So tune in to today's Senior Living. We're going to have that young man on again. He's from North Carolina, but he knows a lot about Medicare and Medicaid. And he also talks about trusts, financing, things that you need to know about what you're going to do when you leave here. So tune in, and we're going to talk a lot about what you need to do about your insurance, about your financial planning. So tune in to today's Senior Living so we can have some in-depth discussions here on my podcast. But on my radio show, you only get about 15, maybe 12 to 15 minutes of interview time. We can't get into a whole lot of all of the depth of what you want to know. But on my podcast, we can do it all. We also had Miss Monica Evans. Miss Monica Evans is the director of the Board of Elections, DC Board of Elections. That's the agency that talks about and deal with ranked choice voting. So let's get into the ranked choice voting issue. Well, I know a lot of you talk about, well, where did it come from? How did we get here? What was it all about? Well, it started way back when we had Project 83 and Project 82. And when we did not go out and vote for Project 82, like the mayor was asking us to do, we end up getting 83. And you know how we got 83 is because we did not participate. So I'm telling you right now, you got to get out and vote. You're going to have to get your children to vote, your grandchildren to vote. You're going to have to get your neighbors to vote. You're going to have to get Lottie Dottie and everybody out to vote this term around. Because let me tell you one thing, the seniors in this city has been the tower of strength in voting. We vote. But this year we're talking about ranked choice voting, something different than we have ever seen before. And ranked choice voting talks about selecting 5 different individuals based on categories, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So when you start talking about ranked choice voting and you don't know anything about it, don't forget, tune in to today's Senior Living, and we're going to have Mrs. Evans back on again and again and again until you learn and you understand what ranked choice voting is and how it's going to affect you in the long run and how it affects you in terms of your vote. So come on out and get with us because we got to elect a mayor, we got to elect a council person, we're going to have to elect a delegate from the District of Columbia. So ranked choice voting is going to be very heavy on a lot of people's minds. So we did go over that on my show on May the 16th. That's last Saturday. We're going to also have her back this Saturday to talk about ranked choice voting. So tune in to WOL 1450 AM or 92.7 FM, or call the station at 1-800-450-7876. Don't call my telephone number, okay? But call the station at 1-800-450-7876. I don't have a number here. You can call me, but we're going to have a number. So you can call me here and we can talk to you and we can have a conversation about all the things that we need to talk about, from health care, child care, all kinds of care. We're going to talk about it. Am I right, George?
You're absolutely right, Mr. Doug.
Right. Well, the other thing is we had, we're going to have Mrs. Heidi McMillan. She is the Chief Operating Officer for the National Association for Social Workers. We're going to have her on our show again next week. And she's got a lot to talk about with regards to the job and the work that social workers have a hard job, y'all. I mean, you wouldn't believe it, but they got to make certain that everything is taken care of and that you have to be on point, post, and position with regards to your health. And when you leave the hospital or you leave a nursing home or an assisted living or any of the places that you might be staying, you got to go through a social worker. And a social worker's job is almost 24/7 because they got to make certain that they put you somewhere that's going to take care of your health and continuous health. So, but we also had Susie Smallwood on our show. Susie Smallwood is the founder of Grandiosity Polo Jazz. That's supposed to be happening on the 23rd of this month. That's going to be this Saturday, y'all. But guess what? It's not going to happen because it's going to be rained out. So Susan is now deciding to move the Polo Jazz into next sometime in June. She says she's going to let us know. It's going to probably be the latter part of June. We're going to still have the Grandiosity Polo Jazz because you can't have them horses out there in the rain. And I don't want to be out there in the rain with them, okay? So I had decided to go myself. And I'm also a sponsor at the Polo Jazz, the Grandiosity Polo Jazz under Coda DeGrand and James Osley and Dee Sykes and Susie Smallwood. But come on out. You're going to hear about it. It's going to be nice to go. I've been going every 5 years for 5 years now. So it's going to be a place that you're going to want to be. But I can't go and talk about nothing before I talk about Jimmy Davis. Jimmy Davis is the founder and president of Every Black. I don't know if y'all heard about Every Black again before, but Every Black is designed for all entrepreneurs, professionals, and just regular folks who has a knack for doing business. If you want to know about AI, call 1-800-450-7876 at the station, and Jimmy will be on to talk to you about anything that you want to know about AI. And that's stuff that's going to be with us, y'all. And I come to find out that our seniors are not grasping this AI phenomenon as quick as I thought they would be. But we're going to have to get on board because if we don't get it, we won't get it. I mean, the world's going to pass. AI is not going to go anywhere, y'all. AI is going to be here. So we might as well grab onto that horn and blow it and roll with it because AI is going to stay here. But I just want to cover a couple of things besides that. But that sort of kind of give you an overview of my show for May 16th. But my show on May 23rd, that's this Saturday, coming up on WOL, we're going to have some other guests that's on with some very interesting things and very interesting topics to discuss about senior living. But I want to sort of kind of run through some things that are happening here in the city. In the city, y'all wouldn't believe I heard, and y'all didn't, Nobody didn't tell me, but Chateau is open. Man, I didn't know the Chateau was open. But if now that I found out the Chateau is open and Moon Man is not there, Moon Man ain't there, y'all. But then again, I don't know if Moon Man gonna be there or not. But anyway, we want to continue to move on. But there's a lot going on. A big shout out to Lips. Lips, that's Elizabeth, that's Liz Green over there on the Allentown Road. Shout out to Liz. And I want to shout out to Michael's over in Upper Marlboro. Michael's, I'm coming over there, man, okay? So you might as well get ready because they tell me that you got a meal over there that's for a king, that's set for a king. But let's get down to talking about some things happening here in D.C. We got the Anacostia River Fest. I don't know if y'all heard about the Anacostia River Fest, but don't forget, y'all can always find something going on in Anacostia if you are part of the Anacostia Coordinating Council. They put out a bulletin every week about things that are going on in Anacostia. We'd be remiss not to talk about the Anacostia cleanup. Don't forget, there's going to be a cleanup in the Anacostia Park. It's the Anacostia Fest cleanup. Okay. I want to give a shout out to our great mayor, Muriel Bowser, who struggles to keep this city together, who does the best that she can. I mean, I know a lot of y'all a lot of y'all are going to be coming down on her, but I mean, y'all gonna have to get a sister a break because she's been there for 12 whole years dealing with the craziness going on in this city. But anyway, don't forget there's going to be a ACC meeting on May the 26th at the Martha's Table, 2375 Elvins Road Southeast. So, I mean, y'all stay tuned to a lot of this stuff and tell your neighbors about it, okay? And of course, we have the mayoral debates that is constantly going on in each and every ward. But I want to shout out to my daughter, LaToya Foster. So, LaToya, I know you're not here with your father on his first podcast, but that's all right. We still love you, baby. But we're going to be in touch with you also to tell us about all the great and wonderful things that you're doing in the city also, okay? Don't forget Community Day. That's the health fair. So they did have one on May the 16th. I don't know if they're going to have another one on the 23rd, okay? But we have also springtime Saturdays. That's this Saturday as well as last Saturday. So don't forget they got live music, shopping, and dining, and arts and crafts. So those are some of the things that are happening here in D.C. But nothing is happening here in D.C. any more important to me than the talking to seniors about the things that is affecting them. I do have a lot of doctors on my show. I have a lot of lawyers on my show. I have a lot of people on my show that can help you. So I want you to tune in. If you don't tune in, you're not going to know about all these things that I got going on here on today's Senior Living. But they give you a lot of information about what's going on with, let me talk about breast cancer. We just had Dr. Day on our show. She is the chief radiologist for MedStar, and she talked extensively about elderly women or older adults with breast cancer. So tune in. I'm going to have Dr. Day back on so we can talk about that again. We had also Dr. Mitchell. Dr. Mitchell is a family practitioner, and he talks about how you can find that primary care physician that you can't find. I mean, everybody looking for a primary care physician, including myself, because I got to find that. I mean, I have a primary care physician, but let me tell you one thing. I need to get rid of mine, okay? Because I got things that I need him to do that he ain't doing, okay? So you don't have to hold on to him. Get rid of him. So, but Doctor Mack talks about how to find family practitioners. We have a lot of lawyers on that talks about uh, the things that you can do with regards to uh, landlord and tenant. Then the other thing is we haven't talked about. Does any of you out there have a, a Pepco bill that exceeds $500 or $600? Have y'all looked at your light bill lately? Or have you looked at your gas bill lately? Or your water bill lately? They're crazy, aren't they? But we're going to have people on this show that's going to tell you why your bills are like that. I have no idea why my bill is the way it is. I mean, anytime you get a bill that is $1,000, I want to know how much kilowatt hours that we're using. Once upon a time, they were using something like 15 cents per kilowatt hour. But now we have no idea how much they charge you per kilowatt. The average house is probably doing about 2,000 kilowatt hours for maybe about 19 cents per kilowatt hour or more. But the kind of bills that I'm seeing here is incredible. We're going to be also talking about solar panels, y'all. They're free here in DC, but because they're free doesn't mean that it is not some regulation that goes along with it. So you're going to have to be able to check that out as on the individual basis. So if you think that you need a solar panel on your house to reduce your utility bills, then so be it. But I can't tell you which one you need to choose and which one you don't need to choose. But you're going to find one or some of them coming around to your house, knocking on your door, asking you, why don't you get solar panels? If you get a put all yourself so that you can get a check coming back. You understand? So, but anyway, I don't know about whether or not that this first podcast of mine, I'm gonna tell you, has been exciting to me because I am now beginning to be able to feel freer to talk about the things that I wanted to talk about. I mean, I want to talk about where you've been. I want to talk about, do you remember? Yeah, do you remember? Do you remember the Howard Theater? Do you remember Dunbar Theater? Do you remember? I want to go into that a little bit, but I'm going to tell you that I want to talk about those people who have been here all their lives, and I want to know about your story. So that's today's Senior Living, and this is your host, Doug Foster, and we'll see you next time here on my podcast on every Tuesday from 5 until 7. All about you. Thank you very much for tuning in.